it's like Halo, except for you got jetpacks. And so that's the big difference is that most first-person shooters, you're literally grounded and you're moving, left, right, forward, backwards on the ground. And this, with the upward mobility, it totally changes the gameplay pretty significantly. Being able to go up, down, diagonal, and fly around changes the whole environment. And so, in that respect, it fits into the popular genre, but it's something different.
Okay. So, have you guys in your company, have you been the type of company that kind of, sees other companies, doing the high reality shooter up games, and then you guys do that, or have you guys tried to really stand out as your one, this is our one game, this is what we like to do, and kind of going with that?
Definitely the latter of, we're very realistic about what resources we have. We have more people and money than many game publishers do, but not as much as the biggest ones. And so if something like Halo, Microsoft could spend $100 million on the marketing campaign alone. And literally making Halo a household word, regardless of the game itself. We're not going to spend $100 million on the entire game.
Yeah.
And so we need to be realistic about the scope and even the level of finish that we're going to put on a game. So we spend much more time on making sure that the core concept is good and that it's entertaining and fun to play, rather than it has this cinematic level of detail and realism. Because if it's not fun to play, it doesn't matter how pretty it is, it's not going to keep you entertained for very long. So we're definitely focusing on the fun to play. Then with our game itself, with Legions, kind of sticking to what we know, we feel that we understand the potential between web and game integration better than anybody else in the market. So we think that we can build a better mousetrap of that style than anyone else. We're very much aware of what our competitors are doing, and we're always looking to see what they do well and what they do not well, and then we say, okay, well, what can we apply to us? It's not so much as copying, but learning from their mistakes.
Now, with the Legions game, how long did it take you? Was it quick? Was it a really slow process where you guys had to really figure out what to do?
Well, both. The original concept was probably created in just maybe a few weeks to a couple of months, but we've been working on it for 2.5 years since. So the basic game mechanic happened really quickly, and we were like, oh, wait a minute, I think this is interesting. I think we should continue to invest in this. And we have continued to for the past couple of years. So the original concept happened quickly, and I think that's pretty indicative of a lot of what we do. It's kind of skunkworks things where we'll experiment with something where someone will just have an idea and we'll say, okay, well, go work on that for a little while. And sometimes it pans out and sometimes it doesn't. And when it does, we're like, all right, that looks like it's got potential, let's invest in it. And then we totally focus on that for the majority of the resources for now a couple plus years.
Okay. When you guys are in a meeting, kind of describe to me how you guys interact with each other. Are you all kind of leaders? Are you really like bringing it together? I mean, describe to me what a meeting is like when you're trying to figure out these type of games.
Well, it depends on whether or not you're doing an operational meeting or a creative meeting. A creative meeting, it's pretty much, we describe what, there's a leader who shows up, someone like myself, and will describe what the problem is that we're trying to solve. And then pretty much we just open up for brainstorming and let everyone in the room contribute and say, okay, well, we could do this or this, and everyone kind of throws in all their ideas and thinks about what we could do to solve the problem. We do that frequently when we're troubleshooting production problems or when we're trying to create a new product. When it's a creative for a game, it's actually a different process. It's usually not as collaborative. It's usually one person has an idea or a couple of people have an idea, and they will talk with each other about the idea, and then they'll come up with a proof of concept, and then they'll show the idea. And then pretty much they'll get a bunch of other people behind the idea and say, yeah, actually it could be fun. Like, for example, one of the things that we're doing with Legions now is one of the key things for Legions is your ability to move and to move exactly where you want to. You can't chase other people, you can't avoid other people unless you've got the basic movement mechanic down. And so it's really important for new players to learn the basics. And one of the kind of a side project that someone had come up with was a racing mode where we took this space game and we said, well, what if we did like a slalom course where they're racing through gates? And someone just did it as kind of a fun thing to do, and it has become the major gameplay element right now. We have an entire site designed for racing, time trials, competition, leaderboards, and people love it. And it was totally just because someone said, well, what if we throw up a slalom course and we try and get these guys to race and learn how to do the movement? And then what we found is that people who go through these slalom courses actually learn how to be more competitive in multiplayer in the traditional shooter. So by totally changing the game mechanic, they learn how to race first. Then when they